Picture this. 3 months ago, she was in love. Real love. The kind that makes you smile randomly. Feel excited to see someone. Think about them constantly. Now she's sitting across from that same man and feels nothing. Not anger. Not disappointment. Nothing. The love died, and she has no idea what killed it. She tries to resurrect it. Plans date nights. Initiates sex. Forces herself to be affectionate, but she can feel it. The emptiness where love used to be. Like trying to revive something that's already gone. And the worst part? She doesn't understand why. Everything is objectively fine. He didn't change. She just stopped feeling it. And she can't bring it back no matter what she does. What if I told you this isn't her fault? What if I told you that modern women are experiencing a psychological collapse in their capacity to sustain romantic love? That something fundamental has broken in the female emotional system, making long-term love neurologically impossible? Millions of women experience this exact pattern. Fall deeply in love, then watch it die within months despite nothing going wrong, and they blame themselves. Maybe I'm broken. Maybe I'm incapable of real love. Maybe something is wrong with me. But they're not broken. Their love system is broken. I've watched this mechanism fail across more generations than you can imagine. But never at this scale. Never this fast. Never this complete. Today, I'm going to diagnose exactly what's destroying modern women's capacity for sustained love and why she's powerless to stop it. But understand this. What you're about to learn explains the death of love in the modern world. This is clinical diagnosis. Pay very close attention. Here's what mortals refuse to accept. Modern women are losing the psychological capacity to maintain romantic love beyond the initial infatuation phase. Not because they're bad people. Not because they don't want to. Because the neural pathways required for sustained pair bonding are being systematically destroyed by the modern environment. She falls in love, then her brain kills it, and she has no conscious control over the process. This isn't opinion. This is neurological observation. I've watched this exact pattern destroy thousands of relationships across every demographic. Same symptoms, same progression, same inevitable outcome. You see, mortals believe love is a choice. That if she loves you, she can choose to maintain that love. That feelings are controllable. That commitment means preserving emotion through will. But here's what actually happens in the female brain. Love isn't a state, it's a circuit. And that circuit requires specific conditions to stay active. Remove those conditions, the circuit shuts down. No amount of wanting it to stay on will override the neurological collapse. Let me show you what this looks like clinically. I watched a woman fall deeply in love with a man. Everything society says indicates compatibility, shared values, good communication, physical attraction, mutual respect. 6 months in, she's planning a future with him. 12 months in, she's feeling restless. 18 months in, she's checking out. 24 months in, the love is dead and she's leaving. She can articulate 0 legitimate reasons. He didn't fail. He didn't change. The love just died. Symptom 1, progressive emotional numbness. It starts subtle. The excitement when she sees him decreases slightly. The warmth when he touches her feels a bit muted. The joy when he texts feels less intense. She notices but dismisses it. Relationships evolve. The honeymoon phase ends. This is normal, right? But it continues. 3 months later, his presence feels neutral. 6 months later, his affection feels annoying. 9 months later, looking at him triggers mild irritation rather than warmth. The emotional response isn't just decreasing. It's inverting. Positive feelings being replaced by negative ones. Not because he did anything. Because her neural response to him is deteriorating. This is the first sign mortals miss. They think decreasing excitement is normal relationship progression. It's not. It's neural circuit failure. The pathways that produce positive emotional response to his presence are dying. And once they start dying, the process accelerates. I watched this happen to a 29-year-old woman. Month 3 with her boyfriend, she noticed she wasn't as excited to see him. Dismissed it. Normal, right? Month 6, his good morning texts felt routine instead of sweet. Month 9, his touch felt neutral instead of electric. Month 12, his presence felt like an obligation instead of a joy. She didn't tell him. She kept performing the relationship, smiling when he kissed her, saying, "I love you" back, initiating plans. But internally, she was watching herself go numb in real time and had no idea why. The circuits were dying. She was feeling it happen. But she had no framework to understand what was occurring neurologically. But here's what she didn't realize was coming next. Symptom 2, inability to access previous feelings. She remembers loving him. She can recall the feeling intellectually, but she can't recreate it emotionally. It's like trying to remember what food tasted like before you lost your sense of taste. You know it was good, but you can't access the actual sensation. I watched a woman describe this. She said, "I know. I loved him 6 months ago. I have the memories, photos of us happy, journal entries about how much I adored him. But when I look at him now, I feel nothing. I can't access that feeling anymore. It's like it happened to a different person. The neural pathways that produce that love response are gone, dead tissue. She's trying to feel something through circuits that no longer exist." Let me show you how devastating this is. I knew a woman who kept a journal throughout her relationship. Early entries. "I can't believe how much I love him. Just thinking about him makes me smile. I feel so lucky." 18 months later, she's reading those entries trying to recreate the feeling. And she can't. She's looking at words she wrote, memories she has, photos of herself clearly happy. But she can't access the emotional state that produced those words. She told me it's like reading someone else's diary. I know intellectually that was me. I remember writing it, but I can't feel what I felt when I wrote it. The person who loved him that much doesn't exist anymore, and I don't know where she went. She was describing neurological death without knowing the medical term for it. And here's what makes this brutal. She tries to force it, tells herself to feel what she used to feel, looks at old photos trying to recreate the emotion, focuses on his good qualities trying to trigger the response. But you can't think your way into a feeling that requires functioning neural circuits. It's like telling a paralyzed person to walk harder. The mechanism is broken. Well, doesn't fix neurological damage. And here's where it gets even worse. Symptom 3, replacement with contempt. And this is where it gets devastating. The love doesn't just disappear, leaving neutral. It gets replaced with negative emotions. Small things he does that she found cute now irritate her. Behaviors she used to love now annoy her. His presence that used to comfort her now feels suffocating. The same person. The same behaviors. Opposite emotional response. This isn't rational. This is neurological. When the positive response circuits die, the brain fills that space with negative associations. It's a defense mechanism. She can't feel love for him anymore, so her brain creates discomfort around him to justify the absence of love. If I feel annoyed by him, that explains why I don't love him. The brain needs a reason, so it manufactures one. Let me show you how this manifests. Woman says he chews too loud. 6 months ago, she didn't notice. Now it's unbearable. He didn't start chewing louder. Her neural response to him changed. Everything about him that's neutral gets reinterpreted as negative because the circuits producing positive associations are dead. She's experiencing him through malfunctioning neurology and assuming the problem is him. Let me paint you a complete picture of this progression. Woman, 32, marketing executive, meets man through friends. First 3 months, intense attraction, constant texting, Can't wait to see him. Sex is amazing. Talks about him to everyone. Posts couple photos. Planning future trips. Months 4 through 6. Still good but less intense. Texts become more practical. Sex frequency decreases slightly. Still enjoys his company. Minor annoyances start appearing, but dismisses them. Months 7 through 9. Feeling increasingly neutral. His jokes aren't as funny anymore. Sex feels like work. Starts needing more alone time. Small behaviors irritate her. Questioning if he's really right for her. Months 10 through 12. Actively annoyed by his presence. Dreads him touching her. Finds excuses to not see him. Everything he does bothers her. Can't remember why she loved him. Starts noticing other men. Month 13. Ends it. Tells him, I just don't feel it anymore. Can't explain why. He's devastated. She feels guilty, but also relieved. Moves on within weeks. Meets new guy. Cycle begins again. Except this time, it'll be faster. Same woman, same progression. Different man. The variable isn't him. It's her dying neural capacity for sustained love. And she has no idea she's watching her own neurological deterioration in real time. You know what really gets me about this? She doesn't know this is happening. She experiences the shift and assumes it's legitimate. She really believes he's become annoying. She really believes his behavior's changed. She really believes the love died because of incompatibility. She has no idea her brain is malfunctioning. No idea the problem is neurological, not relational. So she leaves believing she made a rational choice when she's actually responding to circuit failure. I've watched this play out across millennia. But ancient women had something modern women don't: extended exposure to the same person in unavoidable circumstances. The circuits had time to stabilize. Modern women can exit the moment discomfort appears. And that ability to exit is what's destroying the neural capacity for sustained love. The brain never develops lasting circuits because it never has to. And here's what they don't tell you about this collapse. Symptom 4. Accelerating timeline. Each relationship, the love dies faster. First relationship, love lasted 2 years. Second relationship, 1 year. Third relationship, 6 months. Fourth relationship, 3 months. The capacity to maintain love is degrading with each cycle, like a muscle that atrophies from disuse. Except this isn't disuse. This is active destruction. What's happening neurologically is this. Each time she feels love, then exits when discomfort appears, her brain learns that pattern. Love equals temporary. Attachment equals danger. Investment equals future pain. So it protects her by shortening the love phase. If love always ends, better to end it quickly before deep investment occurs. The brain is adapting to her behavioral pattern, and the adaptation is destroying her capacity for lasting attachment. I watched a woman go through this cycle 5 times. Each man progressively better than the last by objective metrics. Each relationship progressively shorter. First relationship, 3 years before the love died. Fifth relationship, 2 months before she felt nothing. She thought she was getting clearer on what she wanted. She was actually watching her neural capacity for love disintegrate in real time. The mechanism was failing faster with each iteration. But here's where the diagnosis gets even more devastating. Symptom 5, inability to identify the cause. If you ask her why the love died, she can't give you a coherent answer. He just wasn't right. I don't know, something felt off. I just stopped feeling it. She's describing a neurological event, not a relationship problem. But she interprets it as him failing to maintain her interest. Let me take this deeper. The reason she can't identify the cause is because the cause isn't external, it's internal. Her reward circuits are dysregulated. The neural pathways that produce sustained pair bonding are damaged. The mechanisms that create long-term attachment are malfunctioning. But she has no conscious access to that information. All she experiences is the absence of feeling, and assume something external caused it. But here's what she didn't realize about why this is happening. The modern female brain is being shaped by environmental factors that destroy the capacity for lasting love. Variable 1. Infinite options. Her brain is exposed to thousands of attractive alternatives daily through social media. Every time she sees an attractive man, her brain runs a comparison algorithm. Is he better than what I have? The constant comparison prevents deep bonding because the brain is always evaluating better options. You can't form lasting attachment while simultaneously scanning for upgrades. The two processes are neurologically incompatible. Variable 2. Dopamine dysregulation. Modern women are running on fried dopamine systems. Social media, Netflix, food delivery, everything optimized for immediate gratification. The neural circuits for delayed reward are atrophied. Long-term love requires the capacity to derive satisfaction from stable, predictable reward. But her brain has been trained to need constant novelty and intensity. The stable reward of a good relationship doesn't produce enough dopamine to register as positive. Here's how this manifests in daily life. She's sitting with him watching a movie. He's holding her hand. Her brain needs novelty, intensity, drama. The stable affection of hand-holding doesn't produce enough dopamine to register as positive, so it registers as neutral. And neutral feels like absence. She interprets this as we've lost the spark. But what's actually happening? It's not that the spark is gone. It's that her ability to feel the spark is broken. The fire is still there. Her capacity to feel warmth from it has been destroyed. I watched a woman end a relationship because she said, "I just don't feel excited anymore." The man was stable, loving, consistent, supportive. Everything objectively good. But her fried dopamine system needed chaos and intensity to feel anything. Stable love felt like nothing, so she left looking for the high. Found a toxic, dramatic relationship. Felt alive again for 3 months. Then that died too, but faster. The circuit was degrading with each iteration. But here's where this gets truly irreversible. In all my time observing human bonding, this is the most tragic deterioration. Ancient women could feel love for the same man across decades because their neural reward systems functioned normally. Modern women watch love die within months because their dopamine circuits are so damaged that stable affection doesn't register as reward. The mechanism isn't just broken. It's been rewired to reject the very thing it needs. Variable 3. Attachment trauma from serial relationships. Every time she forms attachment, then severs it, she damages her capacity to form the next attachment. The brain experiences relationship endings as trauma. And after repeated trauma, it develops protective mechanisms. Don't attach as deeply. Don't invest as much. Don't let yourself love that intensely. It's trying to protect her from future pain. But the protection mechanism is what's destroying her capacity for love. She interprets this as personal growth. I'm more careful now. I don't fall as hard. I keep my independence. But what's actually happening is neurological damage. Her attachment system is progressively shutting down with each relationship cycle. The capacity to feel deep, sustained love is being systematically destroyed by the pattern of temporary relationships. And she has no idea because she experiences it as maturity rather than malfunction. Variable 4. Identity fragmentation. Modern women are told to be everything simultaneously. Independent but partnered. Career-focused but family-oriented. Strong but feminine. Ambitious but content. Her sense of self is fractured across contradictory demands. And love requires a stable sense of self to maintain. If your identity is constantly shifting, you can't maintain consistent attachment because attachment is based on who you are. If who you are keeps changing, what you feel keeps changing. Unstable identity produces unstable emotion, including love. Let me show you this in action. I knew a woman who changed her identity 3 times in 5 years. First, she was the career woman. Independent, ambitious, didn't need a man. Met someone, fell in love, started questioning if she should prioritize relationship over career. Identity shift 1. Love for career-focused version of her started dying. Shifted to relationship-focused identity. Now she's the woman who values partnership. Love stabilized temporarily, then started feeling she'd lost herself. Identity shift 2. Love for relationship-focused version started dying. Shifted to balanced identity, both career and relationship. But now she's neither fully. Felt fragmented. Identity shift 3. Love died completely because there was no stable self to attach from. She thought she was evolving, maturing, finding herself. She was actually creating the conditions for love death through identity instability. You can't maintain attachment when who you are fundamentally changes every 18 months. The person who fell in love isn't the person maintaining the relationship. So the love doesn't translate. It dies with each identity death. And mortals watch this and think she's discovering who she really is. She's not. She's fragmenting her sense of self so severely that lasting emotional states become impossible, including love. Let me show you how all 4 variables converge to guarantee failure. Woman needs man. Initial infatuation produces dopamine spike. Her damaged reward system responds to the novelty and intensity. Feels like real love. 3 months in, novelty decreases. Dopamine normalizes. Her fried circuits interpret normal as absence. She starts feeling nothing. Meanwhile, she's seeing attractive alternatives daily through Instagram. Comparison algorithm activating. Maybe I could do better. Simultaneously, her attachment trauma is preventing deep bonding. Don't get too invested. And her fragmented identity is shifting. I'm not sure this fits who I'm becoming. All 4 variables working together to destroy the love before it has time to stabilize. The relationship was never given a chance because her neurological state made sustained love impossible from the start. But she experiences it as him failing to keep her interested. She has no idea she's operating with a broken love system. This is why modern love has a predictable death timeline. The convergence of these 4 variables creates a neurological cascade that makes love survival impossible beyond 12 to 18 months maximum. And with each relationship cycle, that timeline shortens. First relationship. Love lasts 2 years before circuits fail. Second relationship. 1 year before failure. Third relationship. 6 months. Fifth relationship. Can't sustain love past infatuation phase. She's not becoming more selective. She's watching her neural capacity for love disintegrate in real time. The mechanism degrades with each cycle. By relationship 5 or 6, she's incapable of maintaining love past the dopamine spike of novelty. The infrastructure is too damaged. The circuits are dead. The capacity is gone. And she has no idea this is what's happening. She thinks she's getting clearer on what she wants. She is actually experiencing progressive neurological damage that is making her incapable of sustained attachment with any partner regardless of quality. And here's the part that will truly devastate you. Let me show you what happens when she tries to fight it. Woman feels the love dying. She recognizes it. Doesn't want to lose another relationship. So she tries everything. Forces herself to be more affectionate. Schedules date nights. Initiates sex even when she doesn't feel desire. Writes gratitude lists about him. Looks at old photos. Reminds herself of his good qualities. Tells herself to appreciate what she has. None of it works. You can't think your way into a feeling that requires functioning neural circuits. She's trying to revive dead tissue through willpower. Trying to force broken machinery to function through conscious effort. It's impossible. The neurological damage can't be overridden by intention, so she feels even worse. Now she's not just watching love die. She's watching herself fail to save it despite trying. This creates a secondary trauma. I can't even make myself love a good man. What's wrong with me? She doesn't realize the problem isn't effort. It's neurology. You can't effort your way out of circuit failure. I've watched women torture themselves trying to resurrect dead love, going to therapy, reading relationship books, trying new things, forcing themselves to stay. All of it futile because they are trying to fix a relationship problem when the actual problem is brain damage. And nobody told them that's what they're dealing with. And here's the kicker that makes this completely hopeless. She can't fix this. She's not aware it's happening. She experiences dying love and assumes it's normal relationship evolution. She doesn't know her neural circuits are damaged. She doesn't know her dopamine system is dysregulated. She doesn't know her attachment capacity is degrading. She is trying to find the right person when the problem is her brain can't maintain love for any person regardless of quality. Most mortals watch this happen and think she is picky or difficult or doesn't know what she wants. Wrong. She has a diagnosed neurological condition. Love circuit failure, dopamine dysregulation, attachment system damage. She's not choosing to let love die. Her brain is killing it automatically, and she is powerless to stop it because she does not understand the mechanism. From his perspective, this is psychological torture. 3 months ago, she was in love with him. Now she's looking at him like he's a stranger. He didn't change. His behavior is identical. Her neural response to him inverted. And he has no framework to understand what's happening. He tries everything, becomes more attentive, plans better dates, communicates more, gives her space. Nothing works. Because the problem isn't his behavior, it's her neurology. But she's telling him it's him. I just don't feel it anymore. Something's missing. You're not what I need. He internalizes this as his failure, when the actual failure is occurring in her brain circuits. Most men go through this experience and come out believing they weren't good enough, weren't exciting enough, weren't alpha enough. Whatever she said was missing. They don't realize they were never given a chance. Her neurological state made sustained love impossible from month 1. The relationship was doomed by her damaged circuits, not his inadequate behavior. She's not rejecting him. Her brain is rejecting the capacity for sustained attachment. He's collateral damage in her neurological collapse. So let me make this absolutely clear. Modern love dies not because people aren't compatible, not because men aren't good enough, not because women are choosing wrong. It dies because the female capacity to sustain romantic love is being systematically destroyed by environmental factors that damage the neural mechanisms required for lasting pair bonding. She's running ancient attachment software on corrupted hardware. The system crashes every time. So what do you do with this information? First, understand that when she says the love died, she's describing a neurological event, not a relationship failure. Her brain killed the love because the circuits are damaged. You didn't fail. Her neurology failed. The distinction matters because you're trying to fix a problem that exists in her brain structure, not your behavior. Here's the diagnostic criteria. If she's experiencing progressive emotional numbness toward you, inability to recreate feelings she once had, replacement of affection with irritation, accelerating timeline from love to nothing, no coherent explanation for why love died, she's not falling out of love with you specifically. She's experiencing love circuit failure, a neurological condition affecting millions of modern women. And she doesn't know that's what is happening because she has no insight into her own neural mechanisms. What do you do at each stage? If you're in month 3 and she's showing early numbness, understand you can't fix this through behavior modification. The circuit is already failing. You're watching a neurological process, not a relationship problem. If you're in month 9 and she's actively irritated by you, recognize that her brain is now manufacturing negative associations to justify the absence of positive ones. You can't reverse this. The neural pathways are dead. She's experiencing you through malfunctioning neurology. If you're in month 15 and she's saying she wants to leave, understand she's not leaving you. She's responding to circuit failure. Her brain killed the love. She's just following the neurological output that says exit. You cannot behavior your way into keeping her when her capacity to feel sustained love is neurologically destroyed. Then recognize that she has no insight into this process. She experiences dying love and creates post hoc justifications. He wasn't ambitious enough. We didn't have enough in common. Something felt off. These aren't real reasons. These are her conscious mind trying to explain a neurological event it doesn't understand. She's not lying. She genuinely believes these explanations, but they're confabulation. Her brain making sense of circuit failure. And finally, accept that this isn't fixable from the outside. You can't behavior your way into keeping her love alive when her neural capacity for sustained love is damaged. The problem isn't what you're doing or not doing. The problem is, her brain can't maintain the emotion regardless of your actions. The mechanism is broken at a level you can't influence. And recognize this pattern will repeat with the next man, and the next, and the next. Because the problem isn't the men she chooses. It's her progressively degrading neural capacity for sustained attachment. Each relationship, the timeline shortens. Each cycle, the damage worsens. She's not searching for the right person. She's experiencing progressive neurological deterioration that makes love with any person impossible beyond initial infatuation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Modern women are experiencing a mass neurological event. The capacity for sustained romantic love is deteriorating across the entire female population due to environmental factors that damage the required neural circuits. She's not choosing to let love die. She's watching it die and has no ability to prevent it. The system is broken, and she doesn't even know there's a system. This is the mass neurological event destroying modern love. Women falling in love, then watching their brains kill it within months and having no idea why. Creating secondary trauma trying to fix it. Blaming themselves for being broken. Blaming you for not being enough. All while the actual problem, circuit failure and dopamine dysregulation and attachment damage, goes undiagnosed and untreated. Because nobody told them that's what's happening. The modern woman isn't choosing to let love die. She is watching her brain kill it automatically and is powerless to stop it because she doesn't understand the mechanism destroying her capacity for sustained romantic attachment. This is what I've observed across thousands of years. The capacity for lasting love used to be universal. Now it's rare. The neural mechanisms are being destroyed faster than they can develop. Modern women fall in love, then watch it die within months and have no idea why. They think they're searching for the right person. They're actually experiencing progressive neurological damage that makes sustained love impossible with any person. The choice is yours. You can keep believing that if you just be good enough, she maintains the love. That her emotions are controllable. That love is a choice she's making. You can keep trying to fix problems that exist in her neural architecture, not your behavior. Or you can accept the clinical reality. Modern women are losing the capacity to sustain romantic love beyond initial infatuation. The circuits are damaged. The mechanisms are failing. You're not failing her. Her brain is failing to maintain the emotion it produced initially. Stop trying to keep alive something her neurology is programmed to kill. The diagnosis is clear. The prognosis is terminal. I'll be watching.